So, hey guys, I am back. It's a long time since I've been doing daily live video. So I'm just going to wait here a bit and see if anybody shows up. Oh, hi, Linda. Excuse me for a second. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead, start talking to myself, and then people can come in and watch the replay. So I wanted to talk about fear of success, because this is really behind many of the reasons I hear why people are not, say, getting to the next level of success. It's like they're not taking the actions, they are making excuses, very reasonable excuses, whatever. So let me start by naming the fear of success. So it has different disguises. It's like, I don't have the time. I don't know how to do it. I need to put up a website. I need to rebrand myself. I don't know how to do the technology. I have invested in so many coaches and programs and they haven't given me results. So I'm not going to invest in any more. I'm not clear. The time is not right. That one can actually sometimes be true. I'm working on it to make it perfect. It's in the process. It's in the process. Let me see. Yes. How this is like, I don't know the right words. I'm looking for the right words. Okay, those are the ones. Yes, I don't have the confidence. I'm not good enough, whatever. Fear of success can put on a layer of all those things, like all these different variations of fear and different variations of self-doubt can be put on top of the fear of success. But what's really hiding underneath is the fear of success. And there are different reasons for our fear of success is, and the ones I actually wanted to talk about is one that's not quite, common. But fear of success is, of course, because it's the unknown. You haven't already lived it, so it's the unknown. And human people fear the unknown. That's the whole thing with comfort zone, etc., etc., etc. So there's that. That's the obvious reason for fear of success. And the overwhelm, can I handle it? Do I have it in me? Am I good enough? Whatever. Those are sort of the obvious things that floats around with the fear of success. Now, I want to go to a deeper level of the fear of success, because that's the one that people don't know about. And this is the one that when you can address that in yourself, deal with it, get over it, that's the one that's gonna set you free to achieve success. So really important information, so pay attention here. And if you have any questions, just put them in here and I'll come back and answer them. I'm just going to actually put on the air conditioner because this is hot, hot, hot here. So, approval. It comes up like, what are other people going to think about me if I step up to the next level of success? That has to do with approval. It's like your fear of offending other people by daring to be different than them, by daring to not play small like they are. But there's a deeper layer that has to do with tribal approval. So I want you to scroll back in time of human history. Back when we survived by staying together in tribes. Living in a tribal situation, being part of a tribe, enhanced your chances of survival in what was a very, very dangerous world at that time. And that's part of the fear of success, because in order to achieve that success, you have to leave your tribe. Because it's like, what are people going to think about me if I do that? You know, are they going to judge me? Are they going to think I'm ridiculous, that I'm presumptuous? You know, are they going to put me down? Are they going to stop loving me? Are they going to be angry at me for daring to step out? This is all to do with the tribal approval. And this was something I have been doing all the other work, but this level of tribal approval that was actually keeping me back. And my tribe was people like me around the world. Call us starving healers, whatever. But those are my colleagues, my cohorts, my community, where I found myself at home. It's like my family of light, my family of common interest. This is where I belonged, where I felt I really belonged. And yet, the fear of not getting tribal approval kept me from reaching the next level of success. So, I mean, it's the whole thing about shunning as a punishment, you know, shunning somebody and being the outsider. So I had to consciously choose to offend my tribe. I had to consciously choose to do things that I knew, or I believed I knew, were against tribal approval. And of course, it's all a lie, right? It's all a lie, because it's all just swirling around in your head and in your most primitive brain, which is focused on survival, because it goes that far deep into our ancestral memories and our whole DNA, human evolution, whatever. So I had to consciously leave my tribe, and that's not an easy thing to do. It's actually very, very hard, and risk tribal disapproval. And I remember one of the first ways I was doing it, I was making a Facebook post where I talked about I love money. Because the way it goes in my tribe is that, you know, the whole law of attraction or whatever, it's like there's the element, you know, money is materialistic, money is not spiritual, and it's a very spiritual community I'm floating around in. So, but then again, because you also believe in the law of attraction, you have to want money, but at the same time, you have to not seriously want them. And even if you want them, you have to pretend that you don't want them, or also pretend that you do want them. And it's kind of like this weird, I don't know, like this weird dynamic or manipulation or is whatever, you know, going on around this. So I have to step completely out of that and own that I love money. I love what a lot of money can bring me, and I want a lot of money in my life, and I'm just going to stop being a starving healer. And I don't care if other people think it's spiritual, that I have lost my way, that I have betrayed my spiritual community, whatever. I had to do what I wanted for myself, and that included leaving my tribe. And that meant I risked death and solitude and loneliness and whatever. So yes, obviously it's not going on like this, but still, this is what's happening inside my mind. Now, yes, so I wanted to talk about this fear of success, because it's really the fear of leaving your tribe. And the tribe in this instance here, in this situation, is not necessarily about, it's not necessarily about your family, the people you're around, but part of the wider New Age community, or light worker community, or holistic community, or whatever. Yeah. Now, there's another part I want to talk about, fear of success, because that's a fun one. That's the fun one, the one that actually might be the part to really shift your thinking about this. So, the fear of success means fear of success as a monster. We fear the monster. If we fear success, we equate success with being a monster. Okay? What we fear is what we believe to be a dangerous monster. Now, in all the stories of the world, going way back when, the hero's journey is to slay the monster. It's like ancient Greek mythology, all the fairy tales, you know, everything we have through thousands of years of histories is we have the stories of the hero's journey, where the hero set out on a quest, and in order to win the reward, got to slay the beasts, got to slay the dragons, got to slay the monster. And in the process of slaying the monster, which is usually they have to conquer something inside themselves, they gain the transformation and become wise people. Now, in this case, when it's fear of success, you don't want to slay the monster. You want to become the monster. And this is a story that, a process, like a story that doesn't exist in our ancestral collective. This is a story that hasn't been told, that in order to become successful, you have to become the monster. So what does that mean, to become the monster? That means, for one thing, a monster is not a human being. So if you put that into the context of the tribe, people live in a tribe. People who choose to live in the tribe, to leave the tribe, they leave the tribe because they are different and they don't fit in anymore. So they become monsters. So the monsters don't fit in with the tribe. And in this case, when I say it means not being human, this means not buying into the stories or the beliefs or the myth about what does it mean to be human. And those are the one, you know, even today in our New Age community, in the light worker community, in the spiritual community, there is a very, very, very strong tribal collective about what's okay and what's not okay. And you have to become, if you really want to have your soulpreneurial success and really like take your soul's genius work and really blow it up big to really go out and make a real difference in the world, you have to change into the monster being the success, and leave the tribe. That means you have to drop all the stories you have been told, what it means to be a light worker. It means you have to drop all the stories of what's being told to be, you know, in the New Age, or what it means to be spiritual. And you have to find the place where you are not defined with the stories of your life anymore. It's like your past. Well, yeah, this is what your parents did. This is what, you know, traumas you have been through. I mean, I've had clients who have spent 40 years of looking at the issues and looking at their traumatic childhood, or 50 years, and they are still stuck in them. I remember one woman I had as a client. It's like every time I challenged her to push through to the next level of success, she would immediately go into a story from her childhood why she couldn't do that because of what happened to her in her childhood. She was in the 60s. The childhood is a long time ago. She spent years working on it and going on retreats and workshops and, learning to be a therapist and whatnot. She was not willing to leave the tribe. And in her tribe, being a human being means that you identify yourself with the stories from your past, from your childhood. You are human because of the limitations or the prison you put yourself into because of the past. So when you shed those limitations, and this is always what I take my clients through, is like, how do you leave your tribe and become the monster? Little myself, don't you think I look like a monster? I mean, scary, scary monster me. It's like you have to free yourself from all that as somebody who is doing your soul's genius work, because it doesn't work. You can't be a human being and then a spiritual being, you know, doing your soul's work here and then also holding back to fit into the tribe. You can't do both, so you have to choose. And I chose to leave my tribe because I'm not willing to betray my soul. I'm not willing to betray the part of me that's spiritual in order to gain other people's approval. While I knew it was like brutal on me to say, you know, no to myself at that time. So you have to become the monster. Now, what does that monster look like? It looks like somebody who is so assured of her own truth that it doesn't matter what other people think about her. It looks like somebody who just shows up on Facebook and starts talking about fear of success. It means somebody who is willing to forego all approval in order to stay true to herself, no matter what it takes. It means somebody who is willing, who owns her total responsibility for creating her own success. In spite of what other people think, she's gonna go do it. It is somebody, the monster is somebody who knows that, hi Yonana, that somebody who is, doesn't need anything else than instructions from, you know, her soul, true intuition. It is somebody who alchemizes the story whenever it picks up, because it will pick up. You know, we are human beings, we live in the human world. So sometimes your story will come in and say, oh, you're not good enough, or you don't deserve this, or what are people going to think? It's somebody who just takes those, it's like, this is a lie, it's a total lie, I'm not going to give it any energy, I'm going to alchemize it. It's like, there's no way I'm going to be there. So the process I'm using and teaching my clients is called shadow alchemy. And when you alchemize these, you release pure energy. And it's so beautiful to see that once people are willing to leave the tribe and do the work it takes to become the monster through shadow alchemy, they become phenomenal, powerful manifestors, and their success like sky rockets. It's amazing. Happens to me too. So what I really wanted to say here is like, getting to the next level of success, it's like you gotta, so fear of the success, fear of the monster is success, you have to become the monster. And that's the person that is in full authority of her genius work in this world and know the exact impact it will have, or is willing to, you know, own it. And leave the tribe and stand alone. And yes, I had to do that, and I had to take the risk that maybe nobody was ever going to talk to me anymore. And so what? You know, I know that's going to happen, but this is the story that's going on in my mind. So if you have any questions, if you're coming back and watching this, please put them in there, and I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, don't let fear of success stop you.